Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, as discussed in the Business Committee meeting, this question is somewhat similar to another question later on in question time, which not only talks about the first round of disbursement of the 360, but also the second round, which I can come back to later on too. But for the Honourable Leader of Opposition's benefit, Mr. Speaker, sir, this rollout is part of the series of rollouts we've had, which we had the $90 assistance and the 2 rounds of $50 assistance. Just a point of difference, Mr. Speaker, sir, when we had the $90 rollout, it was per family, and then when we had the $50 rollout, it was per individual. And Mr. Speaker, sir, of course, this time around 360 is for 3 months, which is $120 a month, but we paid it a lump sum of $360. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have, as a result of that, rolled out a significant amount of money, which I will come to. However, in respect specifically of the 360, which has been now commonly known as the 360 payout, $200 million was allocated in the budget, or this year's budget, for that rollout, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, the first payment, like I said, covers the months of August to October, and I've got the statistics here. Part of the 360, sir, was also that it applied to all Fijians living in Viti Levu who have become unemployed in the formal and the informal sector. It also applied to, Mr. Speaker, sir, those Fijians outside Viti Levu who were in the formal sector. So, for example, people who worked in Taviuni, people who worked in Savu in the hotel sector, etc., and they used to get the benefit under the FMPF scheme, which government subsidized quite significantly, and they were also eligible for this 360 payout. Mr. Speaker, sir, I've got the statistics here. The total number of applications that were received were by 350,143 applicants. Total approved was 294,745 applicants, of which 290,647 were from Viti Levu and 4,098 were from Vanua Levu. 55,398 were actually declined the application. We gave people time, for example, to get the first dose. However, despite that, 1,524 did not receive even the first dose, which is a requirement. 730 were below the age of 18, because you had to be 18 years and above to qualify. 17,353 were enjoying FNPF pensions or were currently employed. There are about 4,348 civil servants who applied. Obviously, they were working. There were 2,443 who were receiving the TELS or toppers allowance. They weren't eligible. There were about 3,109 who were already receiving social welfare benefits. Notwithstanding our ability to try and drag it out and get everybody's TIN and BRN corrected, we helped a lot of people. 1,798 still did not give the right numbers. 6,846 did not give the TIN numbers. 16,832 were actually those who were what we call duplicate applications. So they had applied under 2 different numbers. So we paid them out in the first one for 16,000, a bit like having the same kind of name for one person, applying under different names. And then 21 were people who actually deceased. So families, used their names or used their TIN numbers and tried to apply. And then there were about 3,700 who were actually from the informal sector that were declined from outside Viti Levu. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we said, we tried to help everybody to get across the line. In all up, Mr. Speaker, sir, the $90, the 2 lots of $50 and the $360, Mr. Speaker, sir, we've now paid out $343.1 million in direct cash assistance to affected Fijians, which of course included the government top-up of the FNPF funds too. So a significant amount of money has been paid out, Mr. Speaker, sir, in that respect. What is really interesting, we're going to break down also the statistics by way of age. So out of all the recipients, those between the ages of 18 to 30 years, the number paid out was about 89,428. They constituted about 30.3% of the total number of people who received the benefit of 360. 31 to 50 years old were 125,501, which was about 42.6% of the recipients. 51 to 70 years old were 73,514 Fijians, of which there were 24.9% of total recipients. Those over the age of 70 years were 6,302, which constituted 2.1% of the total recipients. By way of breakdown, and we get the general sort of geofencing by the mobile phone companies, Nasinu received 16.6% of the total recipients came from Nasinu, which is about 48,829. Nandi, 15.5%, which was about 45,632. Lautoka was next, 14.3%, 42,144. Suva, 11.1%, which was about 32,843. Nosori, 11.1% also, 32,843. Ba was 24,414, 8.3%. Singatoka, 5.7%, about 16,858 Fijians from Singatoka. Rakiraki, 11,917, which is about 4%. Navua, 3.1%, which is about 9,010 people. Tavua, 3.1% again, 9,010 people. Others from different areas was 17,149 people, 5.8%, and outside Vitilevu was 1.4%, which is 4,098 Fijians. Thank you, sir.
I thank the Honourable Attorney General.